Georgie fame, wasn't he great? Now, here we go again. What else have we got on the programme today? Well, I thought it would be interesting to have a chat about the new planning permission that's been granted for the conversion of the old Tourist and Benefits Office next door to the Town Hall on the seafront, which is going to be converted, it appears, into a restaurant and or takeaway. It's actually happening. The planning consent went through, I think, fairly recently, although the planning application was made on the 3rd of September. Now, I have to be honest enough to say that I missed it, and I think quite a lot of people missed it, because I just saw a note on Facebook from the Seafront Association, the Residents Association at the Seafront, who were, I guess, having a bit of a complaint about the kind of windows that were installed. But their comment was only recent, and that meant that they, I think, had missed out on the original planning application. To be absolutely honest with you, I'm delighted personally to see the building back in use. And does it matter if it's going to be a restaurant or takeaway? People have said, well, we've got enough, but it's up to individuals to decide if they're going to buy, redevelop property and use it for something. If they fail as a business, then it's their lookout, not ours. If we rush around trying to tell other people what they can do with their money, I think we're on a slippery slope. So it's up to the people. What do you think? Have you seen the plans? The plans are available on some Facebook pages, and I will put those plans up on Felixstowe News probably today or tomorrow, so that you'll have a chance to see what's actually going to happen. Don't know what the timescale is, but I think it will be at least a development. The other thing I'd like to ask you at this same time, to see if you have an opinion, is what do you think we ought to do with the Town Hall? Purely personally, I've always thought the Town Hall is in the wrong place for people like you and me to get to. It's not on a bus route, it's not easy to get to. It's kind of in a beautiful bit of property, I know, lovely piece of property, the Town Hall, but should it be used for some commercial purpose or even as expensive flats? And should the Town Council reap the reward, because they actually own it, should they reap the reward, sell the property, get a load of money, a good load of money, which they can then spend on something useful to the town? It's a jolly good question. I would love to have your response. I'd love to hear what you think, and you can text us on 011 385 90690, starting your message with the letters FXR, capitals please. You can also email us at studio@felixstoweradio.org.uk, or alternatively you can use our Facebook page, which is Facebook Felixstowe on Felixstowe. If you find that, you'll find us, and I'd love to have your comment and we can tell the world what you think. Why don't you get in touch? Okay, here we go. I should have known better. So it's just coming up to 9:15 on Felixstowe Radio. We're on 107.5 FM. You can also find us on felixstoweradio.org.uk and listen to our stream. Heavens above, how smart. Okay, so did you go to the Felixstowe Forward meeting on Monday? What do you think about what they said? Have you seen the video on Felixstowe TV? There's a full report there of what was actually said by the presenter, which was a lady called Helen Greengrass, who is the change director for Felixstowe. She's going to change us whether we like it or not. What do you think about what they said? Okay, one of the topics I wanted to ask you about today was the National Lottery. Do you take part in the National Lottery? Well, I have to tell you I've given up on it really, or I am giving up on it. I've just worked out a load of numbers. I got a printout of what they're actually doing with their new arrangements. Last week there was one winner who won £4 million. That's one winner. That's apparently the odds against one person winning are 1 in 14 million. There was one person who won 98 grand. There were 46 people who won 2 grand. Now that's a bit better. Not much money though, is it? And there were 3,500 who won 194 quid, and 84,000 who won 25 quid, and nearly 1 million people won a free lucky dip worth 2 quid. Well, I have to tell you, I've given up on it. I think it's a waste of time. The chances of winning, as I said, the jackpot is 1 in 14 million, and you have an enormous chance, a big chance, of winning, 1 in 9 I think, of winning a 2 quid lucky dip. Well, I have to tell you, me and Her Majesty spend about 4 quid a week, I think. No we don't, we spend a total Let's work this one out. We actually do 2 lines, that's £2 plus £2. Twice a week we spend £8 a week on the National Lottery. And I've just had a small rebellion and said I'm not doing it anymore. Do you do the National Lottery? Do you think you could ever possibly win? I'm not totally convinced. I think I'm giving up on it, and I'm going to flutter my money away on something even more ridiculous that I may enjoy more than buying a ticket once a month. Let's see what you think. What do you think about the National Lottery? Could you possibly ever in your lifetime win anything? So, just to wrap up on the last piece that I was talking about, let's just look again at the mighty National Lottery. Do you know that I just looked at the odds, and there's more chance of having a temperature of 30 degrees. That's pretty warm, isn't it, really? There's more chance of having a temperature of 30 degrees in central London on Christmas Day than there is you or me or any one person winning the jackpot in the National Lottery. That's absolutely amazing. You have one chance in 14 million. So if you're about long enough to do 14 million goes on the lottery, you might win the jackpot. And of course, if you buy tickets, then that's going to cost you £28 million. That's a bit of a bad deal, isn't it? Oh dear, 6 million people in the UK play the lottery, and as of I think a couple of weeks' time, I am not going to be one of them. I'm going to give up on the lottery and use my share of the £8 a week my partner and I spend on the lottery on something more useful. I think I'll probably have an ice cream or two with a chocolate flake in it. Seems like a better deal than buying a lottery ticket. Here we go.